Should we always listen to old man advice? You know, I'm at the age when you are not young anymore, but not old either. I'm 39 years old, which makes me an old guy for, let's say, 18 or 20 years old guys, and still a young guy for a 70, 75-year-old man. And I speak to different people, sometimes younger than me, sometimes older than me, sometimes way older than me. And when you are very young, when you are a teenager, or let's say 18, 20, 25, it makes sense, to listen to older people, especially way older people than you, because they have the life experience. But when you get older yourself and you've got some life experience, you know how to get shit done. You have your, you know how to live. You have traveled. You have launched businesses. Some have been successful. You have seen a lot. Sometimes more than way older people than yourself. You start to question, should I really listen to older guys? And here's what I think about it. Older guys, they have life experience. They have, seen a lot. They have lived, different situations. They went, if they are old, through a lot of shit. They have seen people dying. They have seen things changing in the world, in our lives. So when it comes to life experience, I think it still makes sense to listen to them. And I still listen to older people than me. I mean, way older people than me. If the guy is just 10 years older than me, he doesn't have much more life experience than me, especially if he hasn't traveled a lot. If he has always, stayed in one place, never launched a business, never done anything. He doesn't know much more than me, or sometimes even less. But sometimes, you talk to way older people who have traveled, you have way more experience than you. They have launched businesses, they have traveled a lot. It's clear they have more experience than me, for example, than you. And I think it still makes sense to listen to them, especially, the philosophical part of life. They have feedback, they have seen a lot, basically. But where you have to be careful, I think, and when you should not listen to them, is when it comes to things they can understand due to context. For example, newer technologies, sometimes they don't really understand. For example, older guy over 70, 80 years old doesn't really understand, internet, the web, what it is really like. And I don't blame them for that, but you still have to put things in context. So older guys, they have life experience. We have to respect them. We have to respect older people, especially way older people than you. But sometimes, they don't really understand your world. They don't really understand the world we're living in now, because they're still in a very old mindset. And they tend to think the world is still like it used to be 40, 50 years ago. I was talking with an older guy the other day, and he was trying to give me some advice and told me how I did when he was my age. The problem is, he was my age in the early 80s. And the early 80s, of course, was a completely different world, It doesn't even compare. The early 80s were completely different to what it is now, Internet wasn't there. The world was completely different. Mentality of the people was different. Society was different, Sometimes way better than now. I agree with that. It was, I believe, better before. When older people tell me, it was better before, I believe that. When I watch movies, when I read, I'm sure it was better before, in the 80s, 70s, early 90s. But it was different. So you can't really, you can give advice to somebody when you are, let's say, 40, 50 years away from him, from his world, from his society, So sometimes they don't really understand what we are going through, our generation. I'm a millennial. and they don't really understand what it is like to be a millennial, in 2024. So yes, we should listen to them. We should respect them. We should, take the best of their life experience, but no, not always, think they have it all figured out. Sometimes they haven't, especially if they haven't done shit. Some 80 years old are less experienced than some 30 years old. Some 30 years old guys have a lot of experience. They have launched businesses. They have traveled a lot. They went through a lot of shit in life, and they sometimes know better than older guys. Okay. And some older guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a life choice. They grew up in one small city. They spent their entire life there, working a very basic job. Nothing wrong with that. They haven't learned languages. They haven't traveled. They haven't seen much, other than their region, their city. So yeah, basically, I still respect them. I still respect, their age, but they have less experience than me or than you, for example, if you have done already a lot in your life, even if you are younger than them. And when it comes to technology, when it comes to modern society, they don't know shit, sorry. So sometimes I think we should rather listen to younger people. For example, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, I'm very skeptical when it comes to cryptocurrencies. I do have cryptocurrencies, but I don't really believe in it. I'm quite skeptical. So I try to listen to learn from younger people, in order to try, to maybe. I wouldn't say understand it better, because cryptocurrencies it's not difficult, once you know what it is all about. But I try to, even though I'm very skeptical, I try to listen to younger people to better understand this world. Even though I'm skeptical, I think in our lives we have to be skeptical but smart at the same time. When you think something could be a scam or could be overrated, give it a go. If you lose, you lose, and you will be fine. If you lose, you lose. You will try again, something else. You have to be curious about everything, because some things you may not even know, and if you are too late, you could miss something. So sometimes it's good to see what's going on, behind you. I mean, in the younger people's world, who are 20, 25, sometimes even younger, because something could be up there. You are missing out because you are already on a different stage. You are not living in the same society. You are older, so you're not really going through what they are going through. Does that make sense? Anyway, if this was interesting, sorry. I spoke Dutch the entire day today, so it's very difficult sometimes to, Dutch and English are very closely related. So when you speak Dutch too much, you tend to mess it all up. Anyway, talk to you soon. If this was helpful, like, subscribe, of course, and comment below what you guys reckon. And talk to you soon. Have a good one.